see 0.035% of the world, of in this electromagnetic world that we live in. And we get so focused on what we can see, you don't see nothing in comparison to all that is. Once we put our faith into what we see, what happens is you become limited.
Welcome to another episode of As A Man Readeth. This is Trey D.
And Goolsby!
Oh boy. This is one of our first ones. This is one of our first ones before we even started thinking about the podcast.
Right.
We have a new series for you, a new book. It is Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Man. I think this is definitely a good favorite for us. That's why we needed to make sure that you all saw it and we talked about it. So, all right, man, let's just run right into it. What you got for us,
man? All right, so we gonna start off. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Starts up the whole book, because when I heard this story, this woman, she went through everything. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this book is just not it's just not a book. It's therapy, it's neuroscience, and it's Marvel Comics all up in one. So you got this woman had everything going wrong, and not because she had a bad break. Her past had literally taken over her biology. And so we're gonna get into what that means a little later. She had depression so thick, it felt like the world turned the lights off on her. She had anxiety. And it's the kind like where her heart was literally racing, like it was going 200.
Real panic attacks, and
She had digestive pain, chronic inflammation, weird neurological symptoms. Her immune system had pretty much clocked out. And the wildest part wasn't nothing helping her. Not the meds, not the doctors, not the therapies, because the real issue wasn't her body. It was the emotions running inside her body. Trey, man, break this down for us, man. How does somebody get so emotionally stuck that their body basically becomes their autobiography?
That's a great question. So we relate to the world. So I had that quote that we don't that I got from like Richard Rohr, that we don't see things as we are. We see things as we are, but also that our body experiences it in our body and our minds, everyone is experiencing life in a totally different way. And so at some point you add that on, and then you start thinking about, how do we actually experience life? We only know life by the past life, if that makes sense. So everything that we've learned to this particular point has been learned from our past moments. Right. And so even as we are saying in this present moment, as soon as that present moment happens, it's gone. It's already in the past. And so all of those things start to accumulate. But thinking about memory, which is, I think this is what kind of kept in her, it kept like holding on to her. It's the emotion attaches itself to the brain, to the body in certain ways. You can feel certain emotions when you're excited, when you're sad, you can feel it in certain places of the body. But it's also this place where all your memories are basically cataloged by emotion. So I know we started thinking about, it's about this place, or it's about this thing, but it's really all of your memories are categorized by and filed away based upon the emotion that you felt in that context. So you can so that's just a quick tip for folks if you're trying to recall a memory. And so what we started to notice is at some point the emotion started to just cycle, and it just concretized in her body. So the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, the overall stress that she kept feeling, her thoughts never got her out of that place. Not say, hey, we should probably jump out of this loop. We're really doing a NASCAR 300, 400, 500 right now. And we need to get out of here. And it just stayed and concretized. And that's one of the things about folks that can't necessarily, or choose not, and I'll say it that way too, that, kind of stuck in a particular loop, that loop also gives them now a lens, because it becomes the emotion becomes a value, like turns it into a particular way of, I don't like this, I do like this. It turns into a place of, now that's a value, because it came from a belief. This is the best way for me. And so those values and beliefs now reinforce everything that's there. So new experiences come about, and you're only seeing it in a particular way, and she's seeing it over and over. And it's like, and it's just all it's doing is just adding more weight, concretizing again, and it's like, oh, she's stuck. She's stuck. Even in the meds, even how people are telling her to do this and that, everything that, a lot of that still reaffirmed what she already believed until she got some new thoughts. But I don't want to ruin it for folks. But
No. So we pretty much summed up that chapter 1 for you. Because the rest of this episode is just talking about, because we got to get you the foothold first. We got to give you, I like how you kept saying concretize, because we got to give you the foundation before we talk about the rest of this book. Interesting enough that you say about those emotions, right?
Sure.
These emotions, these feelings are what he would call secretion. So let me back up one. Okay. He was talking about living in the present. The chapter 2 is living in the present. What he said is we live our familiar past. That's what we do. And how that works is, because I started doing what you do, Trey. I started writing up in my book. I was like, you know what?
There you go, sir.
It says, hold on, what the mind equals any neurological tissue in the brain, body that's activated. It's brain in action is a mind. So you have a mind to take a shower. You have a mind to drive a car. And what we're also saying is these neurons in your brain they wire together. When they fire together, then they wire together. So you get so used to driving a vehicle, you probably on your phone. You know what I mean? Don't be, but I'm saying it's like you get so used to driving that way to work, you will miss elements outside of the norm. Now, why is that important? But I'll keep going. Let's just say you have a way you do things. He uses the example about the coffee, right?
Right.
You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth from right to left, you spit twice, rinse off, poop or pee, whatever that is, wipe your face off, or you get where I'm going. There's a routine to what you do.
In one of those orders, yeah.
Like, I'm just weird like that. But, let me go and brush it while I'm doing it. You go downstairs, you put your coffee on, you wake up your kids or whatever that is. And this is, your body gets used to that. Your brain gets used to that. It releases chemicals into your body. See, I'm jumping. Hold on. So your brain, your neurons begin to have let's say like an information highway or like a pathway. It's like, these neurons know to go that way when it comes to making a coffee. Goes that way to shower, right? So there's that. The language of the mind is are thoughts, right? And the language of the body are feelings. So when these thoughts, see what happens is he does a real good job. Let me segue real quick. He does a good job of breaking these things down, and you start to understand things are connected. So while I'm talking, I'm hearing like, oh, we can keep going. I'm like, whoa, let me slow down, because there are things in between these thoughts and feelings. Anyway, so he's giving you that structure because this structure is going to go on for the rest of the book. You have a thought, neurons fire and wire because they perform the action, or they produce the chemical. That chemical makes your body feel a way. Then you do a thing.
Yes.
Or it's all in that. How would you say that, Trey?
Well, you know what? I think I would encourage your folks to just pull up YouTube and look for neuron connections, because when he's talking about pathways for a new mind or these small minds, there are great videos that I thought were absolutely fascinating. Of it basically kind of looking like a little vine, looking for the next connection, and you can see it growing and seeing connecting, and then once it gets there, it like glows. And the connection, and it's so it's beautiful to watch. That's just thinking and happening. And so you can see that's one thing. Also, but I want to go into, like, there's a couple of highlights that I want to push that reiterate what you said. It's on I'm on 28. It says that this is the second paragraph. It says, for the most part, your brain is the product of the past, kind of what we just talked about.
Yes.
It has been shaped and molded to become a living record of everything that you've learned and everything that you've experienced up to this point in life. And I'm going to skip down. It says, think of emotions as the chemical residue from past experiences. It's chemical feedback. The stronger the emotion quotient from the event in your life, the more experience, the more the experience leave a lasting impression in your brain. So the stronger the emotion that you had for that moment, the stronger the memory, right? That's how long-term memories are formed. The more and then he skips down. Then, so thinking about this, sometimes this is the cool part. Well, this is another part that I thought about. The more you repeat a thought, the more you repeat a choice, the behavior, an experience, or an emotion, the more neurons fire and wire together, and the more they will sustain the long-term relationship. And so when we go back to, was it Amanda?
Ooh, the name of the girl? Anna?
Yeah.
Anna.
That goes back into, like, again, she stayed in that loop.
Yeah.
And so, and in a new experience, it seems like it's just reinforced what she already believed. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. The new emotion, new habits, new behaviors, new choices, or at least what she thought was new. And it just kept giving her the same result.
Right.
Because of that same thing. So,
Over. And so basically the reason why he says it's you're living in the past is because these thoughts and feelings are still going on in your body. And so you're walking around with the familiar past, and you're going to produce the predictable future, because now everything is predictable. You know how you feel, you know where this goes, you know what's going to happen. And Monday through Friday, you have a routine. Saturday and Sunday, you have a routine. It's the same thing in, week out. And if it's going good for you, you don't think too much more about it. But if life ain't hitting the way you wanted to hit, it's like, man, something has to move. I can't keep living like this. Oh no, Trey, go.
No, man, I was going to say, sometimes you can you keep walking the same path, you dig a ditch for yourself. And so you think about how worn, if you walk the same path all the time, that ground is going to get worn, and you'll find yourself at a lower elevation, in reality than the rest of the space. So if that's not a path that you really want, you need to change. You need to get into a different space. You need to change the way that you're walking. You need to change the way that you change a new behavior. Or, hey, you know what? I don't even need to go to that place anymore. But sometimes that constant walk will actually, sometimes can be great for you. It can ground you a little bit more. But if it's something that is not necessarily healthy for you, you're digging a ditch for yourself with your feet.
Yeah, and technically, you're doing that in your brain.
Yes.
And he talks about down regulation, which means it's worn down. It gets worn, and it's not as powerful as it once was. He talks about your personality, right, which is equal to your personal reality, and the personality is how you think, how you act, how you feel. And so, in order to change that personality, you have to have new thoughts, new emotions, new behavior.
Yeah.
Change is not motivational or inspiration. It's biological. You have to change biologically, and you can do that by how you think. This is what it just blew my mind. That if you change what you think, your brain can change the chemicals that it's releasing.
Yes.
Ain't that's wild?
You change. That's crazy.
Your body becomes addicted to anger, to guilt, to fear. It'd be like, where's that? Like if you know how you just be like, everything is cool, and you like, well, for me, let me just speak personally. I would just get mad.
Yeah.
I'm cool, everything's cool, but I'm gonna find a way, and I could never rationalize why. I just be like, I just get up, everything's cool, but now I gotta figure out a reason to you. And even now I'm realizing people can't take accountability So even when they mess up, they got to blame somebody else for why they messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got to stay in
So,
that
so
anger.
Joe
Oh.
talks a little bit about addictions to a behavior. I think it's either in this chapter or it's in the second chapter, but it's something that I think we have to be very like we can watch this. It's kind of like with that addiction, but the addiction probably came from a need for justification,
Okay.
right? I need to be able to justify how I'm living, whether that be great, not so great, with anger, with grief, with fear, whatever it is, with anxiety. And the only way that I can justify it is that I have to have evidence of it.
Right.
So sometimes the reason why I am the way I am is because they are the way they are.
Right.
But at the same time, they're sitting here thinking, I'm not that way. Or the reason why they are the way they are is because you are
It's
the
the
way you
loop.
are.
Yeah, it's the
And then
loop.
but it's the loop. But you are also one of the things that we kind of talked about this on the polo, but it's focus. And so you will always find, this is one of the things I do, and I'll jump back to you. One of the things we'd like to do with our clients is like find the evidence.
Okay.
So when I hear them saying something negative, that something's not possible or what have you, show me the evidence that that's the case. We'll look for it. If you can't find the evidence, then why are you speaking in that particular manner? Not saying what you believe. I'm asking you to find the evidence. Has there been a habit of you failing? So we're working with leaders that are all over the place, right? But they have a proclivity of leadership, a proclivity of success. Like they know what
Right.
they're doing, but they get into these spaces where they feel like they're going to fail. It's like, show me when you fail.
Right. Right.
We don't even use failure as a regular, as a typical term. We just know it's a different way of learning. So
Yeah.
that being said, it's like, you just have to keep finding the evidence. If you want, but if you are stuck in a particular mindset, especially if it's negative, then you will always find something that's going to be negative to justify your negative personality, your negative disposition, your negative demeanor, because everything else is there now. Then he goes, if we jump to probably chapter 2 at this point, but I don't know where we are.
No, we're in
I
two.
got
We're in two. We just went
so
straight
many
into
highlights.
Okay.
But then he's like, then now it's internal and external. Now we're looking at things outside of us,
Right.
but we're also reiterating it or holding on to it and even projecting it from inside of us. And it just continues to loop. So I have to justify my behavior. This is how I'm going to live. And nobody likes me, so I'm not going to like anybody else. Or I'm going to make sure I'm going to make sure that people don't like me because nobody likes me. I don't know what to tell you.
Nobody like.
If you don't believe it, you're right. I don't care. If you believe it, you're right. If you don't believe it, you're also right. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Okay. So you jumped into, and let's get it since we there now. Hold on, I'm gonna go to the page.
Okay. Okay, where we at?
It says on page 49. It's somewhere like that. It's somewhere like that. Because I skipped some things, but we'll come back to it. Our brains, when we think of things, we are electromagnetic beings.
Okay.
There's a magnetism to our heart, and there's electrical electricity signals in our brains, like for the thoughts, right? And so they work together. And so we as humans, we have frequencies.
See.
Because we don't see everything. We only see light. Technically, we only see 0.035% of the light spectrum, and that's such a small thing. But we are on the spectrum. We are on the electromagnetic spectrum. So, and there's information that is in frequency. So keep that in mind. So if you are putting out energy that is, let's say, okay, so that's what it was too. I think I'm gonna stay on there. You have a mind to drive a car. People who have like very sexual, energetic auras, you can feel that energy coming off. That's a frequency that's coming off of them. That's how you can read that. And so if you already have bad thoughts about yourself, you will put that out into the universe and it's going to come right back. But not even saying into the universe. Let's just keep it in this closed system real quick. You put out into the universe, I'm worthless. Nobody likes me. Your brain literally creates these chemicals in your body to make you're going to feel a way for saying these things. You're going to feel, and I'll say you'll probably feel bad about that. Frustrated, worthless, even grief-stricken if we're going all the way down. And your body, now, if you do that enough, because that's creating, what does he say when you, hold on real quick, when you think about something over and over and over, you strengthen it, you strengthen the circuit that those synapses, those neurons make. So, you have, I'm worthless, and it just keeps, and now the chemical is going into your body. Your body is like, cool. It's not judging you. It just says, okay, this is where we at. This is what I want. How else can I keep getting this feeling? What else can I be worthless about? What else can I be grief-stricken about? And then going back into that loop. I was going somewhere with all that though, but I had to make sure people understand. I'm not just saying the universe, like what that mean? You say show evidence, Trey. I'm going back by the science of what has been explained to me in this book. And it makes sense to me. I'm like, so imagine attempting to break that thought, to break that feeling. It's going to be tough because your body, that's what I want to say. Your mind becomes your body. Right? Or your body becomes your mind. It is now the physical representation of what you think daily.
That's good.
And I see it.
I don't know. That's a clip. That you got to. People really need to hear what you just said there, of how important that is. There's physical attributes of low self-esteem. There are behavioral attributes and things like that from a low self-esteem. So there's things, there's ways of how you carry yourself, how your hygiene. There are, the way that you talk, the way that you walk, your gait, all of that good stuff. Like there's ways that you can see confident folks, not so confident. Right? Those that are in despair, your body there are physiological signs of every emotion on the body. And sometimes you just have to be able to pay attention to it for yourself, but also we can read it. We can see it, we can see it, we can sense it, and it's just something to always pay attention to. So I digress. Keep going.
You don't, but what that makes me think of is when someone is in denial and you can just, everybody's asking you, are you okay for a reason? Like whatever, bro, you bring it. So me and Trin, we do this thing now. I do this thing with Trin now where I'll give you an example. I'm coming to pick her up from school. She gets out early now, right? So I'm gonna be there. She know when I get there, I'm ready to go. I don't, there's no reason I should be sitting outside waiting in my mind. It takes me 45 minutes to get to you. I shouldn't be waiting 10 minutes when I get.
Not at all. Yeah, I hear that.
So as I'm pulling up, I'm pulling up, whatever. This is an old situation. She didn't respond. It took a minute. She gets in the car. I know I feel away because I'm about to go ahead and be like, what happened? She gets in. She's already feeling away. I was like, all right, so what's up? What you mean? That. I contributed. I'm gonna admit it, but I'm waiting for her to say her thing. We get into she basically tells me that, and she gives me some new insight on me, which was, Dad, you always talk about being on time and leaving on time and this, but you don't do that with me. When I'm somewhere and you say you're coming to get me, you'll be there. Me and Chloe know you're gonna be an hour later than what you just said. That's what you're gonna do. And yeah, you be on us. And I was like, whoa. I do that when I know I'm driving and I know we're still gonna be early to the thing we're going, But I had justified it, Trey. I get it. I
Yeah.
justified it. I know I know where we're going. I'm just making sure y'all gonna be ready. And then when I get there, they still don't be ready. So,
Mm-hmm.
but now that I heard her saying it, I was like, oh, I put that energy out there though, because I'm already late,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm justifying why.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? When she ain't ready on time, she already justifying why she ain't on time either.
Absolutely.
Boom. I put the frequency out there. She's responding to the frequency. Now,
Yeah.
I switched that up, Trey, because I learned that. It was another time. She went out there ready, and I was okay. I was okay with it. I was just like, you know what? I get it. Life happens. She gets in the car. She's in that energy. I'm like, what's up? What? Because I don't know how to. There ain't no words for it. I see it. You feel it. We know it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, it's all cool. Let's go. You want to go get some ice cream, whatever? She was like but she had to work through it too. You see what I'm saying? Like it's hard
Yeah.
that initial change is going to be jarring, man. It's just because your
Mm-hmm.
body's like, where my stuff, man?
Yeah.
Come on, man. And
Need all
so,
that. Can I get that?
yeah, and it's okay. And if we can live our side of it when someone's going through it, and we can just sit there
Yeah.
and smile and sit there and just be like, I know, but it's something you got to go through. You're trying to push me. You're trying to give your frequency to me, and I got my little barrier. It's like a UV blocker. Like it just gonna block that
Yeah.
boo boo energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I wanna be able to justify my behavior. So I need you to act the ass. Okay? Go ahead and act
Yeah,
the ass so I can do it. But if you don't, then it's like, that's truthfully, that is the, I think folks should understand, that is actually the nonviolence strategy for the civil rights movement. Is
interesting.
that I'm not going to give you, which again, you had to be trained on, by the way. I would say this. A lot of folks don't understand the whole, like you just didn't get in there and just got beat. You literally had to have a certain level of discipline and mindset for that particular job or work, so to speak, in those particular events. They did not let every single person, like the hotheads that they knew they were going, that you knew you were going to swing on somebody immediately, that you didn't pass. You were not at the Woolworth in those moments.
Wow.
But that's the part of it. It's letting you display on yourself so you can feel your own shame, you feel your own guilt, so that you can see it. Because if someone doesn't give you that same energy back, then you just look like an ass out here. But hopefully you have a moment to realize that moment. You realize what was actually happening in that moment. Hopefully, some people do, some people don't.
Yeah. So now let's shift over to talk about epigenetics just a little bit.
Okay, okay,
Just a little bit. The reason I bring up epigenetics, I don't even know if I highlighted this section. I should have. This was in my
well,
other
we're
note.
talking about the expression of genes,
Yes.
not just the genes themselves, but basically how they express. Because you could still have the gene, but it's also about how they express, and they can be expressed by the tension within, or the environment within, or the environment without.
Without, right. And
Yeah.
that's where I don't know what page it's on, but I wanted to talk about that. They say that every cell creates a protein, except red blood cells or something of that nature. And so that might be actually going into IgA. But what I'm saying is the gene expresses itself based on the environment, like you said. So what's
Yep.
going on in that environment? How is that environment even built and created? Through the chemicals that are coming down the brain stem, and if it hits the frustration, whatever cocktail that frustration is, boom, it hits the body. The gene, the
Yeah.
gene like, oh, I need to do this.
Yep.
If the gene doesn't have to get activated, it won't activate.
Right. Right.
It run in my
Right.
family. No, your family mad. That's they
Yes.
frustrated.
Yes.
They upset.
Yeah.
You see?
Well, I mean, we can talk about that with like heart disease, cholesterol, different, the sugars,
The
or
sugars.
diabetes. That is something that can be a part of this as well. It's also going to be, again, it's environment, internal as well as external. Internal environment, you can control what you're eating,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So that it may shift off that, that tendency to actually be overweight, like some folks in the space. But we've also seen in a number of you've seen those studies as well, like twins that are actual absolute twins, and then they live on two sides of the country. They have
Yeah.
totally different diets, and but genetically the same.
Mm-hmm.
That just shifted everything. This person is totally in the ruts, right? While this person over here is thriving.
Right.
Different environments, genetically identical, but basically their environment, the food access they had, the people that they were around was different, and it changed the entire makeup of their bodies and their experiences in life, of course.
Right. So he talks about survival mode and
Yes.
creative mode, right? So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
survival
Yep. Yep.
mode
Yep. Yep. Yep.
is
Yep.
where you have the high beta waves, beta brain waves, cortisol, time pressure, predictable future. Living in survival. Oh, that's page 47, just what you want, where I'm about to
Yep.
read.
Okay. That's what I
He
was
said,
going to. There we go.
automatically become materialists, defining reality with our senses by what we can see, hear, smell, feel, and taste. We also narrow our focus and put all our attention on matter, on our bodies existing in a particular space and time. The hormones of stress cause us to give all our attention to our outer world because that's where the danger lurks. Back in the days of early humans, of course, this response was a good thing. It was adaptive. It kept us alive. And once we had focused our attention on the cause, and then the danger had passed, the levels of all those stress hormones went back into balance. So he goes into this, but what I want to say from that is that remember I told y'all we see 0.035% of the world of in this electromagnetic world that we live in. And we get so focused on what we can see, we don't see nothing in comparison to all that is. So our feelings and the things we cannot see are very important. We can't see these waves that are all around us. And so once we put our faith into what we see, I think what happens is you become limited in scope. You become limited in growth, and you get stuck in this survival mode. I don't have this thing right now that I need to have in order to grow. And then your cortisol goes up, and then your blood pressure goes up. Again, all these are chemicals. Like this to me makes common sense. So
Yeah.
we want to get
Yeah.
out of survival mode and into creation mode, where your body's
Yes. Yes.
relaxed, where you can come
Yeah.
into the present moment, which is technically unknown. You've never been in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. You know what I mean? It keeps
Right. Right. As soon as you say it, it's gone.
it's gone.
As soon as you say it, it's gone. Yeah.
Right.
That elevated space of bliss and freedom and love and appreciation and joy, those are the spaces where you want to hold on to.
Yes. Why?
If
Can
you,
I
I
ask you
mean,
why? Can I ask you
well,
why?
and, so if you think about it, a lot of times, again, if you're trying to, well, I mean, the first thing I would say is that that's why would you want anything else? Why would you want to be in a place of just? Why would you want to live in a place of pain, lust, victimization, suffering, shame, guilt, fear, anger, you know,
Yeah.
and so on? And
That's a good
so,
point. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I think that's so. It's a question like where do you really want to be? And so I think so that's how I answer that question. I think it's just that's where you can get more things. You'll be able to see more of the world. You'll be able to see more of the human experience, and even definitely your spiritual experience at that higher level of thinking and processing of like, oh, it's not all trash and shit and so on. It really is. There's so much more. Even when it looks dark, there's still these moments where it's like, there's something else there. There's another side of the coin that I have not explored. There's things I can be grateful for, even in these moments of sadness and grief. So
Yes.
I think you're just going to have you will find yourself in a better place, better life by trying not to just justify this is why I move in this particular way. That's
Yes.
not necessarily promising. I had this thing, I had this conversation with folks in the political space too. A lot of my politicals lean one way or the other.
Right.
And I was like, some of y'all are, I don't think y'all happy. I don't think you're experiencing happiness because, but we can talk, that's a whole nother conversation. I'll get into that later. I'm going to stay on the book. I'm going to stay on the book.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and to come forward because I
Sure.
want real quick learning, and this is page 28. Learning from a neuroscientific standpoint is when neurons in your brain assemble to form thousands of synaptic connections. Right.
Yes.
We already talked about that. The when you have a mind for something, it's turning on a specific sequence or pattern or combination of neurological networks. So that's learning, that's moving. And he also says when you pay attention to knowledge or information and it makes sense to you, this interaction with the environment leaves biological impressions in your brain. Right? We
Yes.
go down one more paragraph. It says experiences not only enhance the brain circuitry, but they also create emotions. So,
Yep.
so there's this thing so we go from mind, we go to neurons, the connections, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
when they're making connections, they're wiring and firing, which means you are learning in some sense, which also means you're probably having some type of experience, right? So that means you're probably having a feeling. And so what he's really good at doing is create this book is a neural connection. It's a firing of different points in place to
For
create
sure.
ideas.
You know, he's
Understand it. Oh, go ahead.
that sentence you just said, man. I think I think you skipped over this sentence in between what you just said. It says think of learning as your brain getting an upgrade
Yes. Yes. Yes.
every time.
That's it.
I'm with you,
That's
bro.
it. That's why I be telling my dad, man. I was like, "You got to do you. What you doing today? You ain't got to go to work no more. You got to be doing something. You're not doing
And
nothing."
there's studies around constant intellectual and stimulation, and how it staves off Alzheimer's.
See,
Folks that read regularly, did something outdoors, got vitamin D, did something did something that was
what's
active,
wrong with? Sorry.
right? Did something that was active. That was a part of it. I mean, it showed that they had, less chance of getting Alzheimer's. And I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, your brain has to continue to grow. It has to continue to build new neurons and new circuitry and new connection points. So you have to continue to learn. That's why we keep telling y'all to read a book.
read a
That's what this
book.
podcast is about. Getting your butt to read a book. And if you don't want to read the book, hopefully get the cliff notes. You can I don't care. Read some notes about a book. Read something. I
Something
got 2 papers here. I'm gonna gotta read those in a few moments. Like, you gotta keep reading.
because it gets you into a new experience. It's like
Yes.
the person who never leaves their neighborhood. Cool. If you never leave your neighborhood, read a book then. Read books about the places then. Because what it does is it gives you an opportunity to create new neural connections in your mind,
Yes.
in your brain, which will then create chemicals in your body that makes you feel better. So once you can get like the basics of that, I think
Yeah.
you change worlds. What's so dope about all of this is that you have to give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah.
It does not depend. No one else can keep you from changing. The only person to keep you from changing is yourself. That's it.
Yes.
Because you can make a
Yes.
conscious choice and say, "I'm going to change." It just starts little by little, man. I'm gonna make my
Yes.
bed in the morning. Now we're
Yes.
going into 12 rules. I can make
Yes.
my bed. Just
Yeah.
little, one step at a time. You know.
Yes.
So we talked about the body being the mind already, and so if the body becomes the mind, then it's like how do we then either change that? Yeah, how do we change that? And I was like, well, what's in the body first of all? Why are we already getting, let's say, sick? Remember we were going into epigenetics We're talking about the
Yep.
gene. And so you have this, I believe it's a protein. I could be wrong. IgA, is that a protein? Immunoglobulin A? Is that considered a
I
protein?
think you said that. That's the case. Yeah.
I
That
think
makes. Or I thought it was a hormone.
it might be a hormone. I think
Hormone.
you might have hit that on the head because
Yeah.
something. And when you tell me what page you're
40,
on,
I'm on 43.
43, but I'm way somewhere. All right. It says it's a hormone. I trust you because it says it's in basically in your body. The IgA, immunoglobulin B, IgA, sorry. What it does is it's like the
It's
Debo.
protein. It's protein marker.
It's a
Protein
protein
marker.
marker. Thank you.
Protein marker for the strength of the immune system. Page 42.
Page 42. See, showing evidence of it. Oh, there it is. Yes. Which Yaki Awaken says there is no immune system, but that's a different subject. So I'm wondering if the immune system is the lymphatic system is what he's talking about. I don't know. I have to look that up. However, it's like the bodyguard. It's like the bouncer. You know what I'm saying? So when when stuff come in, it's like hold up, relax, hey, get out of here. What happens
Yeah.
is if you low on IgA, that means that you're less healthy. You have your immune response is going down. It weakens your immune system. Okay, so stress lowers that. Cortisol
No,
lowers that.
I thought it was the opposite. You get higher IgA. No. Okay.
If
Keep
your
going.
IgA is high, it strengthens your immunity.
Okay.
And what does that? Gratitude does. They had a gratitude thing. There's a study they did. I'm glad you said that. Hold on. Hold
You want
up.
the Tacoma?
Yeah. What? See where you at? There it is. Yeah. So yes. Thank you. You exactly right. So that SIG-A, when it says 49.5% elevated emotion, the IgA was up, and so the survival and the cortisol went down. Because if the cortisol is up, then you got a problem. Because that means the IgA is down. I think they work inversely like that. You can't have high cortisol and high IgA. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
You're right. So
Yeah.
so since that's happening, and this was just in energy, they didn't take nothing. They didn't put anything in their bodies. It wasn't like a food study. It was an emotional study. So you felt better. It strengthened your immunity. That's
Yep.
not even just felt better. What I mean is gratitude. You were thankful. I can breathe. I got a family. I got a car. People complain about a lot of stuff, and that gets you sick. Is what this is
Yep.
also saying.
It get you every time. You got to stop paying attention to what. Again, I want going back what Joe was saying about external environments as well. You can be in certain spaces and just watch how people. I still work like in my office. Sometimes folks will have their calls, not on the headphones. I say it that way, and they're all loud, and it's like, and I can listen, and I may eavesdrop a little bit, and it can be so negative. It can be so negative. It's like, and you probably talk to that person every day,
Right, every day.
and they're giving you the same thing, like, and it's just like f bomb and cussing, and it's like, because they're stressed out, and I don't know what the leadership is doing. Well, I mean, you also have not come up with. I haven't heard any solutions over the past 10 minutes of this. So but I think those are the things you have to pay attention to. You mentioned, this idea of like if the mind is the body, then how do you shift it too? And I
Yes.
think it goes back to page 28, where we were talking about reminding us that thinking of the emotions as no. The stronger no, that's not it. The more you repeat a thought, choice, behavior, experience, emotion, those neurons fire and wire together. So
Yes.
if the mind has become the body, or the body has become the mind, then we probably need to change what the body is doing. And
Okay.
so, in the same way, we know what
Oh.
attention looks like. We know what confidence looks like,
Okay.
right? We
Okay.
know this is why when we do, if you want confidence, you can do the Superman pose for 2 to 3 minutes. and then boom, your testosterone can boost real fast,
Right.
right? Just in the proper breathing. So sometimes it's about what are the behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
choices, the things that we can do physically
Right.
to change what our mind's doing, right? So sometimes our mind's not going to want to do it, but we can say, hey, you know what? This is what a confident person will do. So if you think about when we do, you remember the what would Jesus do?
Yeah, the little bracelet, band.
Little bracelets.
Yeah.
That's also about behavior. It was a behavior to allow for a particular way of thinking,
Okay. Okay.
right? So
All right.
a lot of times you don't think your way into doing, you do your way into thinking. We're gonna talk. I know we're gonna talk about it in the book, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta do your way into thinking. You
Yes.
can't just think your way into doing all the time, especially if it's stuck. So sometimes you got to shift the way you're doing things, then you'll think it a certain way. And then by that, then the loop comes back around because the thinking will help, the new thinking will
Yes.
reinforce the doing, and the doing will reinforce the new thinking.
Hey, I got it. That's a shout out to Myron Golden too, real quick, because that's a be do
Absolutely.
have. That's a be do
Yep,
have.
absolutely.
And sometimes if you don't know what to be, you got to do. Just do something. So you got to start somewhere, man. You were saying that, it made me start thinking about if your body has taken over, like you have thought so many thoughts for so long that your body is now its own mind.
Sure.
And so you say, you know what, body, I want you to do this. Your body like, man, F that. You just trying to think. We just gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna eat these chips.
Yeah, yeah.
I got into a pattern of drinking beer and smoking cigarettes every meal. I always had to have a cigarette after a meal. And can you see me?
I'm over here. I'm like, man, you're not that old, dog. Look, this ain't even the 70s, dog.
Right.
It's just, it's
Look,
not what we need to be doing.
hey, look at your boys back in the day. Richard Pryor, was it Red Fox?
Yeah,
Red Fox.
that's exactly what it is. Like, man, he got a cigarette and a beer, or a little glass of wine or something.
He was doing Sanford and Son in his 30s.
Yes, in his 30s.
In his 30s, he
Keep in
looked
mind,
60 then.
they looked old, bro.
It just looked old back in the day.
Yeah.
So,
Man, y'all
so
20? Y'all that was 20 something?
yeah, hey, but
Full beards?
full beard, great silver beard.
Great, like woof.
Yeah. So just imagine if you look at my old pictures, I look better now than then. I was so bloated, so inflamed. Called me Fat Tony for it was right after I got a spoosu. I was Fat Tony then. They started calling me Fat Tony. I stopped playing baseball. I was still kind of working out, but I was like that.
Yeah.
You know the folks who kind of work out, but they still like you drink and work out, don't you? You
Yeah, yeah,
got drink after this.
Hey, you can't press your way out of a belly. You know, it's just not gonna work out.
It's not.
Can't bench press the belly out.
And so I had fallen into a trap too earlier this season when I was like, I'm working out all the time, but I was still drinking in the evening.
Oh yeah.
My body, I ended up getting what you call that thing, the shingles, bro. I was working on my legs so hard, so good.
What?
Things were burning, so I thought it was a muscle. I thought it was my muscles. Now
Yeah.
my nerves was like, bro, we is fired up. You get these little black like because they literally burn. It's like your nerves has got burned.
Wow.
Painful. So, but as I'm going through that, you didn't know about that. This is new to everybody in the world because it's just what it is. It's like, hey,
Yeah, I'm very surprised over here. Y'all surprised? Y'all surprised? Nobody's in here, but I'm saying everybody's surprised.
everybody's right. So what I learned from that is okay. One, I'm grateful that we caught it now or whatever it is because it can always go back. Because if you've had chicken pox, it's still in your body and it's supposed to be sitting there. I was like, oh, okay. Let me not put the chemical because I'm putting chemicals in my body. And no matter what my belief is, my body's reacting to that cocktail.
Yeah.
So, but I was gonna go there. Oh, and then, but I was grateful that I got in. It happened. I was all right, and I had the money to pay for it. The pay
right.
my little bill. I was going somewhere there with as far as energy goes. Um, oh, and I shared. Why did I share? I shared for a reason. Dang it!
We were talking about changing of behavior.
The be do have. That's what it was.
The be do has. Yep.
We do have. And so working out, I was like, I need to be the doing by itself will not work. I have to also be the human man that I want to be. So this will activate. I can't try
Absolutely.
to be on the side
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna do a little
Yeah.
bit and it'll be all right. Nah, son.
That's it. I think everyone should think about that. The person that you really want, the person that you say you want to be, how are they making decisions today?
Yes.
You should probably make decisions how they now certain things you can't do, but it's like, oh well, they would. Some people would lean in me. Well, they would buy this, and this. It's like, nope, nope, no, wait. Before you get there, how are they processing it? Is it what's their level of fear around this particular decision? But you can also look at it if like you're being led by that person. So this is another little tip
Okay.
that your personal advisor is your future self. And so what is your future self telling you that you should be doing in this particular moment?
Boy. Boy.
And if it's done really well, all you're doing is just modeling what your future self is doing. You're listening to the advice of the future self. This is only temporary. Don't worry, do this, and this. If you want to be the next president of whatever it is going to be, of this particular company, next vice president, I don't care what it is.
Right.
When people are complaining, you're in a position of like a manager now. People are complaining. What did you want your vice president to be able to do for you?
For you. Right.
Boom. Guess what? Then you can do it at that moment, because this is also This is also like I think a lot of this of being supernatural, or kind of all the books that we've talked about over the years, have been really about responsibility and empowerment, and those go hand in hand. It's hard to be empowered in your life without wanting to be responsible for your life at the same time. Not saying for everything, but the things that you can be responsible for.
Yep.
And so if you want to be responsible for the next stage of getting to the next place, then like start to do the things that person is responsible for before you even get to that, because then your timeline catches itself. If that makes sense, right? You got to catch your timeline. You already see yourself there. Now you just got to move that timeline a little bit faster by practicing the behaviors, the choices, the habits of that person.
And you move it faster by getting your mind off of the past.
Yep.
Your mind is and so again, the chemicals go down, it reacts in the body feels away, and there's energy, this electromagnetic energy that's all being, it's, you're giving the energy to that. And so let's say if you had energy slots, if you have 20 energy slots, 18 is dedicated to what's going on today. Like what I'm saying is I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this, then I gotta drive here, then I gotta do this, I gotta have these conversations. You have 2 slots for creativity. That ain't on.
Yep.
You're just mad.
Yep.
I don't even want that. So you have to free those energies up. So I can't focus on yesterday. I can't focus on what these people, how I feel about these people. Like, and so it's you have to give yourself some grace and know that's why, okay, you might have those 2 energy slots, but I realize, okay, let me work on my 3rd energy slot today. And by doing that, I will not focus on something that has nothing to do with me anymore. When I was a kid, my mama used to, you're not the same human, like literally now that you were then. So, and there's something to be said for going back and handling certain situations within, but it's when do you change the story?
For sure.
And if that story keeps you in that negative place, negativity, because I'm catching it now, man. People around me, when they just go, I was like, so what I do is, how would you say, okay, I wanted to say, there's a point here. It's got multiple points, but
Okay.
they're connected. Because I want to run into the part where he says our energies commingle, right? Because he talks about atoms, how they kind of commingle. And so someone may have a particular type of energy, and your energy runs up against their energy. It's on page 49.
Yep.
Just
That's
like
on
two
there.
atoms that bond together to form a molecule which share energy and information, when two people share the same emotions and energy and communicate the same thoughts and information, they become bonded together as well. And in both cases, they are bound by an invisible field of energy that keeps them connected. So he has on one page where that bond can be love, that bond can be hate, if I'm just taking it all away. And so I'm starting to see where I'm like, I see where you're leading. I'll give you a perfect example. So this morning, so Kareen has a big interview today. Big interview. So
Okay.
she went to bed
I
early.
like it. I like it.
Went to bed early. I went to bed. I never sleep with the phone in the room with me. However, last night I did I did my Joe Dispenza like nighttime meditation. And so
Okay.
I'm allowing it to kind of go into my subconscious mind, right? So it at one point in the night, the headphones fell out of my ears, and it's just on. I don't hear it. Maybe somewhere in the middle of the night, Kareem's like, "Hey, what? Do you hear that? Do you hear that?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, how the hell?" I couldn't hear it. I had to put the headphones on to be like, "Oh," but she could hear it. So it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, "Cool." So I went in, took them off, put my phone on the charger, whatever. So earlier,
Yes. Yes.
I had to get up and take my car to the get an oil change this morning because James needed to use it. Anyway, so there's that. Um,
Okay.
and so I come back and no, before I leave, she's like, "Had me up." I kept waking up last night, and I was like, "Well, so now you should be ready to go then." Like in my mind, I was like, because I know it was giving affirmations and you're amazing, you're special, nothing can stop you. That type of I'm unstoppable energy. You have to press live, I think. Are you about to press on? Sure, what you doing?
Ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but so you kept her up. Well, she said you kept her up.
So I was waking up multiple times, and so was your phone. So I'm taking it as this is going somewhere. You're not saying that for no reason. There's a reason that's being said. What I'm attempting to do is I call it my HIA, my hand immobilization attack, which is I'm stopping the thing from starting before it even begins, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Which is because this is what I'm seeing you say. I'm seeing you say, I stayed up all night. Well, I was waking up multiple times a night. I have a big interview, and you had the stuff on. Therefore, if something happens, it was because of this situation. What I'm saying is, because of this situation, you'll actually have a good day, and it's going to be a great interview, and da da da. So we're coming from two different places.
I like it. Yeah.
Same seed, though. So and so I think it's very important to wherever we're bonded at. I'm making that clear. It's like this is what this is, because it could have been worse. It could have been where you woke up and like, "What are you doing?" Like whoa. It could have been, but it wasn't
Yeah.
that. It was actually like you subtly, which was a different. She had a different response from, because normally that would be an issue, but it was just more, "What's that?" "Oh, it's this. I got you." Boom, and we handled it. We're good. And then in the early day, it could have sprouted into something else. Nope,
Yeah.
it's actually this is a good thing. We good, and we're not even gonna look that way because we got a big interview today, and
For
we're
sure.
not about to put this on anything else for no
Yep.
reason for nobody.
Yep.
So, but that's because I was on this book. If I went on the book, then I would have responded in a way like, "Why it would have been weird."
Yeah.
Knowing you have this big interview, why then would I then add to that cocktail? You know. So yeah, but so I feel like moving forward, how we choose to react is on us. However, I I do have grace for people who are stuck. Well, I need to have more grace. Let me say that. For
Okay.
people who are stuck in a particular, even if they want to change, because
Mm-hmm.
their body is still the mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna move. It's almost like there's sludge, like in sludge, and it's like it's cool. But let's work together to figure this thing out, or whatever that is.
There's still going to be, even with the desire to change. Again, I think one of the things I would look for when people say, something I really want to do. It's like, okay, so let's 1 to 7, can't use 3.5, don't do that. 1 to 7, what's your, what do you think your level of responsibility to take on everything that you need to take on? Give me that number. Also, do you feel that it's possible for you? 1 to 7. Do you feel do you feel that it is? Do you have an appropriate plan? 1 to 7. How appropriate is your plan? And then another thing, my big question a lot of times is folks is from a 1 to 7, do you feel, how eligible do you feel for it? Because that's typically the crux of a lot of things. If you don't feel like you really deserve it, then we got to work on that first.
Right.
Especially because whatever's keeping you in that place, you could be very comfortable in that place.
Right.
And so if you are not okay with being uncomfortable for a good moment, then it's going to bring you right back to whatever the comfort is that I'm familiar with.
Yes.
The better life can be over here, but through that, you still got to go through a forest. You still got to go through some sands. You still got to go through something that is going to be uncomfortable for a moment. But as soon as you break through that threshold, you're probably in a totally different place. I believe you will be in a better place. And so, but you got to get your butt out of the comfort. That's the bubble.
Yeah.
And again, since your body's trying to hold on to whatever it's trying to hold on, your mind is trying to hold on to what it's trying to hold on because that's what we know. And because that's the experience of the past, and it's telling us from our evidence that we've looked for, but also dug up. It's saying this is how it is, and this is how it will be. We can't even explore new territory because
Oh,
it's holding us right here. This is how it's going to be. So even if I go, something in my mind is going to bring me, every time I try to leave, something keeps, it's that, every single time. So,
yeah, man. Hey,
man, I think where are we? I think we right at
yeah,
the
yeah.
end
We
of
hey,
chapter
that
2.
was just 2 chapters, and because we have to set the tone first,
Yeah.
and that's why I just kept reiterating the mind and the body. Oh, and we didn't talk about meditation, y'all, but meditation is another way to help the body
Yep.
align with the mind. Just it
Yep.
slows down
Yep.
the waves, the brain wave. You have alpha, you
Hmm.
have beta, you have gamma, which is super high, and then I think it goes beta, then alpha, then theta, then delta. I think I could be wrong. No, it's just so I get out. It goes beta, delta. No, no. Oh, hold on. Is this the order? No, that's not the order. But if I went in order, it would be gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta.
Okay.
And gamma goes really, the frequency is really, really high, really fast. Whereas like delta is really slow,
Yep.
and you're more suggestible
Yep.
at those waves. So
That's when
yeah,
you do hypnosis. That's when you do your hypnosis. That's when you do your affirmations. You put it on a delta wave and on your soundtrack in the evening. Put your affirmations on that thing. And when you get, it starts whispering to you in your sleep.
yeah, that's what I was on last night. That's what I was.
Yeah,
I feel good.
absolutely.
I feel good. But anyway,
I want to read this before we go. This is like the last page of chapter 2. And he's talking about the sweet spot of being present, the generous present moment. And he says, if I do it properly, overcoming my familiar thoughts and emotions of my known past and my known future, then energetically, neurologically, biologically, chemically, hormonally, genetically, that predictable future no longer exists. I'm no longer firing and no longer wiring those same old neural networks. And I keep returning to the present moment. I'm calling energy back to me. Then he says, now I'm in the sweet spot of the generous present moment, and I have the available energy to create. I built my own energy field surrounding my body. Every time I've labored, sometimes for hours, get beyond myself and find myself called into the eternal now through meditation. I've truly had breakthroughs. I've always thought the same thing. That was so worth it. Now, I know we done went through this book. There's something about this too that he talks about meditation. I can't wait for us to get to that part of that desire for a previous experience. And I'll talk about that in the meditation space. Like sometimes you want certain, like, man, I haven't had that in a while, but we'll get there, man. What you got? Anything else?
Yeah, I got one. But what page were you on when you read that? I want to highlight.
I was on 60.
Okay, so I was right before you. Okay, 60. Oh, you read it? Okay, yeah. Dang, I should have let you in with that, because it's literally the end of the chapter. But I would give y'all the right before that, because this is what it is for me, because it reminds me of working out. He says the hardest part I'm on page 57, last paragraph. The hardest part of every war is the last battle. That means that when your body, as the mind, is raging, causing you to think that you cannot go any further, wanting you to stop and return to the world of the senses, you keep persevering. You truly step into the unknown, and sooner or later you will begin to break the emotional addiction within you. When you get beyond your guilt, your suffering, your fear, your frustration, your resentment, or your unworthiness, you are freeing your body from the chains of those habits and emotions that keep you anchored in the past. And as a result, you are liberating energy that is now coming back to you. And I could keep going like this.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. And so,
For sure.
and so if we can keep that top of mind, because when it gets hard, that's why I was telling you, this week for me has been like, what the
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's working. Even that mindset.
Absolutely.
It's working. Something big going down. And so y'all get ready. As a Man Readeth is coming. It's coming to a country near you. We might be in. So yeah, man, I'm excited to continue this. And
Same. Hey, so this is chapter 1 and 2 of this great book, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Listen, like, subscribe, send us a comment, let us know if you're reading with us as we go through this. And
read a book.
if you haven't, check y'all later. Peace.